Mhm. Hello guys, welcome to this video. My name is Vite and today I will simply be chatting. Now you may be wondering, why would I be watching a guy simply chatting? And let me tell you, it's simple. It's because it's part of an experiment. In this experiment I'm going to try and get charismatic skills by talking. And for this video I'll be introducing myself. So let's start with who I am. My name is Vite. I'm about 20 years old and I'm an autistic guy with a lot of struggles in the social communicative spectra. I struggle a lot with things like body language, humor, and of course, speaking. Some of it also lies in motoric issues as part of my autism, but overall, it's because of how my brain is built and think when it comes to things like speaking to others and holding conversations and what would be funny, what would not. Like, I'm a very literal and direct person. And as you can maybe hear in my speaking, I sometimes mispronounce words as well, even without my own knowledge about these mispronunciations, as I cannot hear them. So, to put it simple, I'm making this channel and these videos to improve that. That's kind of like the purpose. I on a daily basis study tech, and while I won't really need speaking skills while studying in tech and web and software, it's still nice to be able to become friends with colleagues by being able to hold conversations and start conversations, which I can only learn by practicing it, and I have no one to practice on, so now you guys are my practice dolls. Well, is that derogatory? I actually don't know. Let's just pretend it's not. So that's overall the purpose of this channel. I just hope to have someone to talk to and someone to chat to, so I can practice these skills. So what will I be talking about on this channel? A mix of everything, just really what I feel like talking about. I'll mostly be focused on my interests like sociopsychology, technology, politics, that kind of stuff, while also trying to keep things lighthearted and sometimes have fun conversations about life overall and interest and cooking and such. I, for example, here the other day made pancakes, like really good pancakes, and while I want to experiment more with them before telling the world how to make them, I still do think it could be an interesting thing to talk about because maybe some of you will take inspiration and try these pancakes yourself. Like, who knows? All conversations can be useful conversations if you're willing to make them useful, even if they may seem uninteresting at first. As you probably noticed if you check my channel out, I have already made one video where I spoke of autism and how people are fetishing it. I will definitely be making more about autism as I go along, because that's kind of like a part of my special interest, as I am autistic myself. I have what we call pervasive developmental disorder, and as part of that, I've been doing a lot of research into this disorder and the overall autism spectrum disorder by I think it's called the IDM-11 or something like that. Basically, the latest test model to diagnose, which doesn't even have PDD, by the way. And so I will definitely be speaking more of that. I will also be speaking on personal experiences and stories I know. I, for example, know this awesome story about a guy who basically built himself up from being nothing to a middle class man within his life, proving that everyone can have success because he did this in the 20th century and late 19th century. And so that will also be something I will be talking about, like just overall these stories I have and this knowledge I have. Sometimes I'll also just be talking about my progress in my skills and abilities. Maybe I'll, for example, make a video about web development one day, or a video about I need to get going now. Or a video about oh gosh, did I not get my bed? Oh wait, I have it here. Or maybe a video about a new interest I picked up on and learned about. Maybe something new I learned about humor or human behavior. I actually do have a video about human behavior on my way. that I think is pretty interesting myself. I just have to find the proper way to word it because I failed like 3 times. That's also why I'm in media res in this game, even though I have already made a video that explains some of the context. Like you will see about 60 minutes of gameplay is missing because of my failure to make one single video that I just cannot find a proper way to word. That's something I hope to become better at, by the way, by making these videos and just speaking. So every day I'll just try to pick up a subject and talk about whatever, and then have it uploaded by the end of the day, if I can. Which I think is doable. Like I do think it's realistic if I really put my time and effort into this. And yes, I'm currently just mining in Minecraft. And the reason for that is so I have something to do while talking because I'm possibly ADHD. That's possibly, by the way. I'm undiagnosed so far, but it's pretty much likely. So anything else I should actually mention? I'm actually not really sure. What else should I introduce about myself? Like, usually you introduce who you are, the purpose of the conversation, and your interests, and I think I've kind of covered it. Like, my interests are really just a bit of everything except for sport, and a few boring things in my eyes that I will simply just not be able to memorize what are, because I just know I'm not interested in them when I get exposed to them. Holy F. You okay, buddy? Oh. You left a piece of yourself. Great. I did not need that. I got distracted by the rotten guy. So, as I was saying, I'm not really sure what interest to exactly mention because either I'm interested in it or else I'm not interested. I, for example, like mechanism and technology and computers and such, and especially robots. I'm obsessed with the idea of turning machines alive. But at the same time, I could not care less about car brands and car noise and such, you know, typical boy stuff. I'm basically the nerdy side of the typical. So, like, it's a bit complicated to explain what I'm interested in or not, because I may like an aspect of something, but then not like another aspect of it. Like, again, with, for example, technology and cars, where I love the idea of how they work. I'm extremely interested in learning of these things. I'm literally taking an education in technology and web development, software development, you know, that kind of stuff. So like I'm definitely interested in that kind of stuff. And I also enjoy engineering videos. I, for example, watched that guy Michael Reeves and the guy Mark Rober. If you know those two, they're pretty decent engineers on YouTube. Mark Rober is actually a big name. So I sometimes just watch engineering videos and such. I do find it interesting, but again, I just do not care for specifically car brands. And cars are also not the most interesting machine I can imagine. Trains seem more interesting. And then I'm also heavily interested in psychology, as I think I've already said actually. Like, I have been studying psychology and sociology and neurology for a few years now because I kind of got diagnosed with autism, and so I decided I had to understand myself. I had to understand my brain, and I also wanted to understand others because now I knew I was different. It was kind of like confirmed. Before I suspected it, now I could say for 100% certainty I am divergent from the typical human standards of functionality. So that's another major interest. I also just overall enjoy learning. I, for example, here the other day learned about lions and how their prides work. Pride is a lion flock, by the way, for those who don't know. So, like, I just sometimes will just pick up on random knowledge and learn about it. And while the lion knowledge were useful for the video I'm working on, just a little hint at what it may lean towards, considering also involve humans. Mother effer, can you die already? Oh, am I even allowed to say that? Okay, I'm experiencing a bit of lag. And it's actually getting me killed, I think. Oh, okay, I somehow killed him before he killed me. UB, that's always great. Anyways, I think that's about it I wanted to say for this video. I just quickly wanted to introduce myself, and I think I'm going to sound kind of chaotic looking at how I sprang back and forth in subjects. But this is, after all, a test run to learn to just speak freely about subjects without having all the structure needed. And I just quickly paused because, oh damn, I see a zombie over there. I don't feel safe about that guy being there. Could he go away, please? Okay, I'm just quickly going to pick up my stuff. And so I'll say goodbye and wish you guys a great day. Hey, and hope I see you in another video.